Dawn creeps over a frostbitten wasteland. You're buried beneath a soggy blanket of mammoth hair, trembling like a hairless mole rat in a snowstorm, and silently cursing whichever ancient spirit thought warmth should be optional. There is no fire. There is never fire. Because no one in your tribe has figured out how to make it. Not a spark, not a flicker, not even a helpful puff of smoke. Welcome to the Prehistoric Popsicle Era. Population, everyone freezing their butt off. You grunt yourself into a seated position, clutching a half-frozen root you've named breakfast. Out of desperation and mild emotional attachment, across the clearing, Borg is rubbing two sticks together with the furious determination of someone who refuses to accept reality. It's morning number 438. Still no flames, still just friction and heartbreak. The only thing catching fire is Borg's temper. Nearby, Tharn is chewing on chunks of charcoal with the hopeful theory that heat can be absorbed
through teeth.
And sweet, clueless Kloop face, streaked in soot, hope in his eyes, is murmuring flirtatiously to a pile of rocks, as if affection alone will ignite them. This is what life looks like without fire, and it is cold and stupid and soul-crushingly awful. The pre-fire crisis. Fire, as history later confirmed, changed everything. Cooking, heating, not getting eaten, dramatic lighting for cave murals, and most importantly, giving people a reason to sit around poking stuff while pretending to be useful. Without it, you have the opposite of civilization. You have cold food, cold limbs, and the icy, soul-sucking stare of someone who just realized they're about to eat another raw tuber and sleep in their own fog breath. This is the before times. Dinner? A menu of sadness. Mostly raw roots, mildly warmed by the ancient technique of sitting on them for a while and hoping your butt counts as an oven. Occasionally, nature pities you, and a bird freezes to death mid-slight and lands nearby. You eat it, feathers included, still twitching. You chew fast and tell yourself it's earthy. Everyone in the tribe has the digestive system of a cement mixer and the energy level of a depressed slug. Morale? Somewhere between gravel and used rag. The only thing burning inside anyone is existential dread. As for predators? Without firelight, you're just a glow-in-the-dark snack tray. It's not just the absence of fire, it's the absence of pride, of feeling in your extremities. It's the psychological weight of huddling beneath wet fur, wondering if this is your legacy. Cold, confused, slightly crunchy. The attempted inventions. Humans are stubborn. The poke-a-bear because it looked smug kind of stubborn. So naturally, your tribe refuses to accept a life without fire and dedicates every frostbitten morning to the noble art of not freezing to death through pure delusion. First, stick rubbing, a classic. It results in zero fire, countless blisters, and a thumb rivalry so heated it now has folklore status. Kloop rubs so hard he invents a scream that clears birds from the valley. Only the gods can still hear him. Next, rock smashing. You get sparks, yes, but only enough to irritate a moth, who pauses, sighs, and flaps away in disappointment. Tharn claims the rocks are mocking him. He starts naming them and threatening their pebbly children. Then comes desperate science. Tharn screams at kindling for 20 minutes, trying to ignite it with fury alone. The sticks stay cold. Possibly insulted, Kloop tries reverse breathing, sucking air in aggressively while locking eyes with the pile. He collapses mid-gasp. Everyone claps anyway. Eventually, someone suggests a ritual fire dance. What follows is pure madness. Prehistoric jazz hands, spontaneous butt percussion, and what may legally count as seizures. Borg invents twerking, mock elbows a toddler, Tharn headbutts a rock, Kloop yells "flamey time" and sprains both ankles. The chaos ends with a broken toe, 3 mild concussions, and a new tribal swear, Scragblat. Did it work? No. Did you bond through pain and shared humiliation? Also no. But hope? Hope stumbles onward, bruised, confused, and still kind of optimistic. The heat alternatives. Necessity, as they say, is the mother of deeply unwise innovation. And without fire, your tribe gets inventive, group huddles. Think warm, think communal, think 30 adult bodies, 5 feral toddlers, 1 goat with trust issues, all tangled in a single damp mammoth hide tent. It's toasty, it's intimate, it smells like burp soup. Privacy? Gone. But at least your feet aren't freezing anymore because someone else's armpit is sitting on them. Sunbasking. Whenever the sun peeks out, usually for 7 seconds, you all drop whatever you're doing and splay across the ground like prehistoric starfish. It's not religion, it's survival tanning. Elbows poke eyeballs, backs steam faintly. Borg once got sunburned on only 1 butt cheek. That cheek is now legend. Spite heating. You try to warm yourself purely through the heat of internal rage. You think about that time Kloop stole your last berry. You think about grub always taking the best sleeping rock. You stew, you simmer, you mildly sweat. It's not effective, but it's cathartic. Hot air therapy. Tharn invents what he calls story warmth, which is just long, dramatic yelling about absolutely nothing. He breathes heavily while recounting fake tales about fire gods, tragic beet thefts, and heroic misunderstandings with bears. Everyone gets slightly warmer, no one understands the plot, at dead animal housing. At one point, someone proposes living inside a dead mammoth. It's like a natural oven, they say. You almost consider it until you spot the maggots. Doing synchronized swimming, you decide frostbite is better than becoming part of a haunted meat condo. The mental breakdown phase. By moon cycle 3, things unravel, and not in a charming, we invented hammocks way. No, more like the human species is coming apart like wet bark. Your diet now consists of 3 food groups: wet, gritty, twitchy. Half the tribe hosts parasites, the other half just chews bark while staring into middle distance like they're planning a memoir. Hallucinations set in. One guy cuddles a pile of cold dirt, whispering, "You're warm when you're quiet." Another sees a flaming goat in the stars and insists it winked. Old Grilda? She's licking rocks and rating their spice levels. 7. Earthy. 10. Smoky finish. 2. Tastes like betrayal. Tharn builds a shrine to a mud sculpture he calls Mud Flame. He sings to it nightly, his favorite, "Burn, you soggy prince." No one stops him. Some consider joining in. Borg suggests migrating to a volcano. Everyone laughs, then doesn't, because honestly, volcano sounds toasty. Then comes peak breakdown. Norn, powered by brain fog and blind optimism, declares he's off to find the fire people. A glowing tribe said to smell like cooked squirrel and happiness. He returns 20 minutes later, drenched and cradling a frog like it's a sacred heirloom. Says nothing, just gently pats the frog. The frog stays. Its name is Gary. Even the cave art spirals. What used to be glorious mammoth hunts and berry feasts is now just shaky stick figures under angry rain. One wall just says "burr" 47 times. You're not just cold anymore, you're cracked. And honestly, fair. It happens on a perfectly ordinary afternoon, right in the middle of a heated debate about whether dreaming of fire counts as real warmth or just seasoned hallucination. Borg, damp, twitchy, and emotionally frayed, trips over a rock. Not just any rock, the rock. It bounces, it strikes another. A spark flies, a real, glowing, holy spark. Time freezes. No one breathes. Even Gary the frog looks up, spiritually awakened. The spark drifts through the air like fate in slow motion and lands directly in Tharn's hay wig. "My head's on hot," he screams, sprinting in circles like a flaming duck. His hair is on fire. The smell, a cocktail of panic, toasted shame, and faint hope. Chaos erupts. Some scream, some cheer. One elder fans it with squirrel tails like she's summoning a fire spirit or losing her last marble. "You blow gently," Kloop whispers like he's romancing a candle. And somehow, the fire catches. It spreads, it lives, it burns, it crackles like it knows it's a star. Warmth hits the tribe like a mammoth hug. Your toes defrost, your stew simmers. Your hands stop plotting revenge against your nervous system. The tribe, unhinged with joy. Dancing breaks out, Borg beatboxes with bones, loincloths are launched in spontaneous pantsless tribute. One guy bites the flame, instantly regrets it. Kloop faints like a diva. Grilda sings, "O glorious flame, roast me forever." And amid the shrieks, songs, and celebratory burns, one truth rises with the smoke. The fire is here, the dark is gone, and everything has just changed. The fire revolution. Fire becomes an obsession, and like all obsessions, it quickly spirals into rituals, superstitions, and a bunch of confident people faking expertise. Tharn declares himself the fire interpreter. He invents a set of rules no one questions. Walk clockwise. Only feed it bark that doesn't make eye contact. And if it hisses, sleep outside. It's mad. The tribe follows every bizarre instruction, not because it makes sense, but because it's warm. Fire makes everyone generous, cooperative, emotionally clingy. Strangers share furs, rivals cuddle on moss beds, enemies hold hands near the flame, elders start storytelling again, kids pretend to roast rats on sticks. One toddler invents charu tubers burned beyond recognition, eaten like fine cuisine. No one complains. Fire cooks. It repels predators. It turns shadow puppets into full-scale dramas. Every chat becomes a passionate monologue about mammoths, dreams, or beat management. Fire is the new sun, and the tribe, just a little too proud of it. Now that fire exists, the tribe immediately decides it's divine. Gods, basically. Gods with toasted fingers. You begin experimenting, roasting moss, smoky, bugs, crunchy, even someone's foot accidentally. He's fine. Slightly golden. Torches become accessories, twirled during speeches, waved during arguments, swung around during interpretive dances. Someone tries to domesticate the fire. It sets the ceremonial goat ablaze. The goat lives, its pride does not. Borg proposes competitive cooking. You offer hot root surprise, which tastes like scorched regret. Borg unveils crisped rockbird. Crunchy, maybe edible. Tharn screams, "I am the Fire King," while serving ember-toasted pondweed. He wins, loudly. Kloop, inspired, suggests indoor fire. You try. The tent now features a smoke hole and a deep sense of regret. Then someone whispers, "What if?" More fire. You try that too. Half the camp gets scorched. Eyebrows vanish. A new law is born, etched in stone for future generations. No fire inside other fire. The return of cold. Eventually, the tribe forgets. You forget the misery of gnawing raw tubers, the frost-numbed toes, the existential crisis of licking frozen bark and wondering if death tastes like pine. Because fire, once discovered, becomes normal, reliable. You start assuming it'll always be there, like moss on rocks, or Kloop muttering in his sleep. And then one night, it rains, hard. No one covered the sacred flame, not even a single leaf. Just like that, it's gone, snuffed out by the sky's poorly timed bladder. Panic spreads instantly. No one remembers how Borg made fire the first time. No one knows which rocks were the magic ones. Kloop sobs into the ashes. Tharn falls to his knees in the mud, screaming, "Fire spirit, why have you forsaken our buttocks?" The tribe spirals. Someone tries to warm a root using rage. It doesn't work. But just when the gloom hits its emotional low, a spark, 2 rocks, and a smug, soaking wet Borg holding them like holy relics. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. The fire returns. Light, heat, sanity. Grilda weeps into a beat. Someone cheers and sprints in a circle, possibly naked. This time, you don't take it for granted. You protect it, you feed it, you name it. You assign someone to sing lullabies to it, just in case it has feelings. You even invent a new word, hot, which somehow becomes comfort, then safety, then home. Of about now us, we still carry the fire. Not in our hands, but in our bones. Okay, also in microwaves and scented candles shaped like anxiety. But the essence, still there. That flicker of wonder, that holy mammoth we did it feeling. It never left. Every bonfire at the beach, every birthday cake with too many candles, every time your lighter finally works after 15 clicks and a whispered threat. That's the echo of our ancestors' greatest aha moment. The day they stopped freezing their butts off and started roasting tubers on purpose, so the next time the power goes out, and you're wrapped in a blanket burrito, eating cold beans straight from the can, staring into the void of your dead phone screen, remember this: your ancestors survived worse. No fire, no flashlight, no DoorDash. Just damp roots, angry squirrels, and unfiltered despair. And somehow, they made it. They kept going. They kept the spark alive. So yeah, you've got this. Just maybe don't try yelling at your space heater. It probably doesn't respond to interpretive dance.